Hey, Tony Gasson here. Now, here we have another installation for the Single and Ready series. Now, I want you to think about this as you think about preferences and standards. And I've done a video on this, but I'm just doing it over. I don't remember how long the other one was. Now, preferences versus standards. This is a terminology that I made up just with my limited vocabulary. I saw somebody else say priorities versus standards or something like that. But this is something I came up with online probably 2010, 2011, and just started going with this concept. And the reason why is because what I saw is so many singles who saying they're ready for a relationship, they were coming to me, and mostly women, and they're saying, look, I want a man that's 6 foot, I want a man that makes 6 figures, and I want a man with a 6-pack. And I said, six. Sound like you're gonna have a devil on your hands. And they be like, well, that's what I want. 6 foot, 6 figures, and a 6-pack. And then I would be like, well, where are your 6 figures? Well, I'm still working towards it. I'm not there yet. Oh, okay, all right. So now let me ask you. Now, what make you think a man who makes 6 figures gonna want you, and you make 5 figures? Well, I'm a woman. Okay, ain't they got women's empowerment right now? Are there women making 6 figures? All right then. So if it's women making 6 figures, that means if that's your requirement, you need to meet that. The man, that's unfair to the man for you to just come be with him for his money, because he done made it to the 6-figure mark and you still at the 5-figure mark. So you can't make that no requirement if you're not there. And a lot of women would not understand that. I remember a guy came to me and he said, man, I want me a woman, man, like with a nice body, with a real nice body. And I was like, well, is your body nice? Well, see, I'm a big boy. I said, so what make you think a petite woman, this slim fit woman, want a big boy? Look at Rick Ross. I said, well, do you have Rick Ross money? No, but still, he bringing the big boys back. I said, no, he not. A lot of his women is strippers, and the ones that's not, maybe they fell in love with him before he had money, and maybe they liked him when he had his body together. So you point at him as an example when this man is a millionaire and be hollering about you want what he got. He got money move mountains out here. And so, well, man, what you want me to be with a big woman? I say, well, you need to be with somebody that's compatible with you. Somebody that if she got meat on her bones and you got meat on your bones, she can't discriminate against you because y'all the same size. Or what you want, a grease fire? You want us to have a grease fire? I was like, what you mean? He's like, when we in the bedroom, you want us to have a grease fire? I'm like, well, listen. I say, well, how fair is it for you to be on top of a woman that's 150 pounds if you 300 pounds? That woman can't even breathe. That woman can't hold you. Well, no, I ain't really on top of her. See, I'm on my arm. Or I'm standing up by the bed. And I'm like, hold on now. See, you doing too much. And so this is what I kept seeing is preferences. People saying, I want somebody this height. I want somebody this weight. I want somebody this income level. Those are preferences. Those are things you prefer, but those are not standards. See, a standard is rooted in morals and values. So see, a standard should have something to do with life. I sound like I was from Baltimore. To do something to do with life. So what I mean by that is it should be something where you say, I don't want somebody who smokes. Why? Because smoking, it turns your white paint on your walls yellow. It get in your clothes. It get in your hair. It get in your pores. It turn your teeth yellow. It rot in your esophagus, and it blacken your lungs, and it cut your life expectancy shorter. And you can get throat cancer, lung cancer. I don't want a smoker. It's not good for me. It's not good for them. It's not good for our kids. See, that standard is rooted in your morals and values, which is something that determines the quality of life. If you say, well, I'm a Christian, I have to have somebody that's a Christian. I say, why? Because I believe that Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior, and that He is the way to God. That no man gets to God but through Christ, because Christ is the Son of God. And I say, okay, so that's what you believe. So you build your life on that? Yes, I build my life on the teachings of Jesus Christ. And those are values and morals and principles for living. I say, okay. So why don't you want a Muslim? Well, a Muslim does not believe that Jesus is the Son of God. And in Christianity, that is a non-negotiable. And so a Muslim believes in the Prophet Muhammad. As a Christian, in the Holy Bible, Prophet Muhammad does not exist in the Bible. So a Muslim does not eat pork. In the Bible, Jesus said that He has blessed everything. In the New Testament, everything has been blessed on God's green earth. You couldn't eat it in the Old Testament, but that changed in the New Testament. So I tab me up some bacon. This is what the Christian's saying. I tab me down some bacon. The Muslim saying, I don't do no bacon. So if we bring kids in, do we eat the pig or do we not? Do we go to church and worship Jesus, or do we go to the mosque? You see what I mean? If it's a traditional Muslim woman, she may want to have the full adornment. If it's a traditional Christian man, he may say, look, that is not necessary. You can't be wearing all of them clothes with everything covered up except your eyes. I want to be able to see you in some jean shorts and a halter top when we go into the beach. And the traditional Muslim woman said, no, that's not my beliefs. I can't wear that. So guess what? Foundationally, one of them will have to compromise. And if they are compromising their religion, their belief system, they may feel like they've lost a piece of who they are. So typically what you will see is Christians with Christians and Muslims with Muslims. And when you see them come together in a relationship, is somebody or both of them being understanding of the other religion, and they're omitting some belief in their own religion. And so your religion is a standard, because that's what you build your life on. So anything that affects the quality of life, that is a standard. And that's what you should have. I don't want somebody that gets drunk. I don't want somebody that smokes. Or I don't want somebody that gets high. I don't want somebody of another religion. Or I don't want somebody who has a religion. Whatever is your standard that you build your life on. And so the preferences, these are things that typically are numbers. So you really want to take numbers off of your list. Now, one of the numbers you may have, but I wouldn't recommend going into this conversation, is how many people have you slept with. That's a number. But that also relates to the quality of their life, their spiritual self. With everybody we lie down with, we take a piece of them. emotionally, spiritually, and they take a piece of us. So a lot of us are holy, meaning we got holes in us emotionally or spiritually because of all the people we've lied down with. That would be a fair question to ask, but it goes both ways. And because the world has been so perverted, you may end up walking away from countless people, and that is totally fine if you're okay with that. If you're okay with that journey, if you're okay with that, then that's totally fine. Go on about your business. Go on about your business. And so when you look at this here and you start to say, okay, here we go. And for those of you married who looking at this stuff because you didn't get this while you were single, I'm going to do a marriage series too. Okay. I'm going to do all several different types of love series here. So now you start to see, okay, I got preferences and I got standards. And when you hold on to your standards, that's what sets you up for a relationship. Because if a man goes in and say, hey, I want a woman to have a big butt, and I want her to have like this nice waist, like no waist with a big butt, and I want her to have like a washboard stomach, like a super flat stomach, and I want her to have like a nice these here headlights, and I want her to have like dark hair with like olive, racially ambiguous skin with green eyes. Those are all preferences. None of that has anything to do with her personality, with her character, with her longevity as a wife. It has nothing to do with who she is as a person. That is all just genetics or Dr. Miami. And that she could have absolutely no substance. That's a preference. If a woman goes and say, hey, I want a man who is 6'4", because that's going to make me feel secure because he's taller than me, and I don't want to be taller than my husband, and I don't want to be the same height as my husband, and I want a man who has a 8-pack of abs or a minimum of 6-pack, and I want a man who makes 6 figures. Guess what? Same thing goes. Has nothing to do with his character, has nothing to do with the quality of man that he is, has nothing to do with that. And so when you go in based on preferences, and this is what so many people do, and this is why you see these Instagram couples. This is why you see these Instagram couples, and this is why you see them break up. This is why you see the infidelity with these YouTube couples and these Instagram couples who they look like they stepped out of a magazine, and you cannot see a imperfection in their looks, and they just happen to be together. If they didn't know each other in high school or like their freshman year of college, 9 out of 10 times, some of them are organic, some of them are pure, some of them they great people, but it's not common. It's not common. It's rare. Most of them, they chose each other based on looks, not character, not their heart, not standards. They chose each other based on looks. This person looks like they will compliment me well. This person looks like a model. I look like a model. Us two models should get together. And they're not looking at the belief system. They're not looking at their morals. They're not looking at their values. They're overlooking a lot of that stuff, and they just happen to look good together. They happen to look like they stepped out of a magazine together, and that's where you fail at. And people doing that as celebrities, and people doing that as everyday people, who are not celebrities, and that's when you fail. But when you look at healthy relationships, healthy and happy relationships, you typically see the flaws of being human. You might see a little excess weight. You might see a couple crooked teeth. You might see a little height challenged. You might see a little looks challenged. But the heart, the character, the person, they match. So listen, that's the difference between preferences and standards. Understand that. Get this in your spirit now and really sit with it so that you know what might be keeping you from meeting the one could be your preferences. Hey, this is Tony Gaslin. God bless you. Talk soon.